So glad you are here. We are joined as always by Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group, a food and wine sommelier of the year. The group includes Columbia Firehouse and Vermilion in Old Town, and not far away in the Del Rey neighborhood you have Evening Star Cafe and Planet Wine, the bottle shop right next door, which I was in a few weeks ago. Greg, it is always good to see you.
See you, Brennan.
As we move into our 6th year of Beer of the Week. It is the middle of December. 2017 will be here soon, and we might need beer more than ever. That's not an editorial comment, just a comment.
Yeah.
What is on tap this week?
So this week we have a new format of a beer that's been around very rarely over the past few years, and it's from Oskar Blues Brewing Company, who's been in the news quite a bit lately because of their expansions and other things which we can get into in a bit. But 10 FIDY is really, for the longest time, was the only Imperial Stout you'd find in cans, pretty much year-round. And this is that was 10.5%, and thus 10 FIDY was the name of the beer. They started barrel aging it because Imperial Stouts do quite well in bourbon barrels. And then you started to see over the past few years a little bit of it pop up on draft. Last year they did a can release at the tap room for the very first time, and that was the only place you could get it. And now this year we're starting to see barrel aged 10 FIDY in cans in the Mid-Atlantic. So look out for this. It's fantastic, and it's 12.9% alcohol.
Hello, happy holidays.
It's a blend of different bourbon barrels from Kentucky, and it's minimum 8 months in barrel for each of the threads.
Where's my Cuban cigar? No, but that's delicious. Oh.
Espresso and chocolate. Has a kind of almost like a marshmallowy character to it too, like vanilla.
You said chocolate already, didn't you?
Yeah,
very much.
Huge chocolate characteristics there. A little bit of caramel with a creme brulee type quality to it. Super complex and really cool. You know, and it's just cool to see a barrel-aged Imperial Stout in a can. This is a 19.2 ounce can. So, you know, Oskar Blues was the first, there's some disagreement about this, but the first true craft brewery in the modern era to really embrace cans. They did so back in the early 2000s. They've never bottled a beer, so they're either draft or cans, which is cool. And they've always been ahead of the curve, so it makes sense that they now have this kind of tall boy can of barrel-aged Imperial Stout.
When you were mentioning that, 19.2, and just looking at it, I'm thinking, I mean, my eyes are going. You know, I'm getting old. The depth perception. I was like, that's really. You want to talk about a tall boy?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
The tallest boy, isn't it?
Yeah. A little bit bigger than 16.9. Yeah, it's amazing. It's a really cool thing. So Oskar Blues, you know, started in '97 as a restaurant and bar. They started brewing in '99. And then started to expand. And recently, a few years back, I think 2013, they opened a second brewery in North Carolina. And they've been in the news because they're one of the breweries that was kind of got some private equity from Fireman Capital out of Boston, the same group that has purchased Cigar City Brewing Company out of Florida recently. So now Oskar Blues, Cigar City, and a number of other small breweries all exist as one kind of larger consolidated group, the United Craft Brews Group. And they're so just kind of interesting, you know, this brewery that has been around this long, making Dale's Pale Ale, which you used to see around, is now pretty big. They also just opened a little brewery and tap room in Austin, Texas. So craft brew is changing.
Very rich and good. Talk about your crackling wood by the fire beer. What would you pair it with?
Well, clearly it's going to be, like you mentioned cigars earlier, it's a great sipper for when you're hanging out by the fire indoors and out. And clearly it can get you in a lot of trouble. So, but if you did not want to save it for the end of the night, I think it goes great with, I mean, well, we're getting into January, getting to playoff football. This is going to be awesome with, you know, tailgating outside. It's great with chilies and stews, brisket, anything, you know, ribs, things that are swimming in sauce and made of meat, I think go awesome with big, rich beers like this. Tex-Mex rules with this. Kind of beef enchiladas would be fantastic. That's what I'm thinking about.
And if your car is down a quart, this will get you to the next service station.
Look at that. Totally.
Very funny. Greg, thank you as always.
Thank you, Brennan.
Everyone, please be sure to bring your thirst next time, and always drink responsibly for another beer of the week.